Good afternoon and welcome to Titan Talk. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Today I have myself, Captain Coop, and I have the ever wonderful, ever mostly last minute, Mr. Captain Roberts. Thank you, sir.
Actively eating this time.
He was. Actually, so was I. So, today we continue talking about this professional development and growth in your personal and professional careers. We do this and we keep doing this. We keep bringing it up because we want to make sure that you guys understand that this is not a one-stop shop. This is not you're standing at a location and that's it. We want everyone to grow. We need everyone to grow. We want everybody to be better, not just for themselves, but professionally, but personally. It's all about growth, and it's all about making yourselves better in every aspect of not only your career, but of your personal life. And we keep coming back to this professional development and ideas and tips and tricks because as supervisors, we've had our stints as officers and we've learned these are the things that we wish people would have told us or brought to us to help us be better and to learn that. And we want everyone to learn from us and take that as an opportunity to grow and advance personally and professionally. We don't want anyone to feel that they're stuck in their position and things like that. And so we keep bringing these items up with this career development and this professional development and stuff because we want everybody to be successful. We want everybody to grow and to move as far along in not only our company, but in their personal lives. And if you're watching this and you work for a different company, I come to us. No, I'm kidding. If you're working for another company, we want you to be successful there. This isn't just about being successful with us. This is about being successful anywhere you go. And so we keep bringing this stuff up because it's so vital and important. And we just want to make sure that everyone has as much information on this stuff that we can offer. And I know you guys probably can get sick of that, but don't forget in the comments if there's something you guys want to see more than anything. If you guys want to see more reaction videos or you want to see more videos on professional development, throw those out there. Let us know. I'll take those into consideration. If we want to get a bunch of requests for a reaction video, we'll do a reaction video. Keep that in mind as well. But we love doing these professional developments because we want to give everybody the opportunity to grow and get better and advance. So thank you for suffering with us on those. And here we are to give you some more tips and tricks of, being better. This one's called Beyond the Badge because there's items that you can do beyond professional stuff that will help you personally and professionally all at the same time, like we've talked about multiple times. And we're going to keep bringing it up because it's fantastic information and it's all about growth.
Yep. I see. I mean, at some point we're going to be saying the same things, but there's always another perspective that I might come up with.
Absolutely.
On another Friday.
And we might have where we do, we bring up something similar with a guest and the guest will have a different perspective on it. So, when we bring these things up, it's not to, to beat it raw or anything. It's to make sure we get all of the information we can out to you guys. So with this one, we're talking about back to kind of the fundamentals. When I'm as an instructor, one of the things I always tell everybody is when you practice and when you train from the bottom and you work your way to the top. So I'm a range instructor. And I always tell everybody, and that's the same way I train myself when I go to range and I go to practice, I start from my feet and I make sure that my stance is good. And I start from my feet and I do a checklist and I make sure that everything is in line and making sure that I start from the fundamentals, making sure that the basics are covered and I know the basics without even thinking and without a question, starting from the bottom and working my way up. So bringing us back down to the fundamental. Wow. This is a Friday.
This has been all day, by the way.
Yeah.
I will have him on the phone with someone else. I'll be sitting behind him, and he'll pause and man, if only I could speak today. I've heard that
all day,
4 or 5 times. The past couple hours.
It's been an all-day struggle for me. By the way, Mr. Beatty, thank you. Glad to see you. Dylan, good to see you as well. So with the fundamentals, what we're looking at is something that we always kind of go back to is situational awareness, whether you're standing at a post or whether you're out in your personal lives, being aware of your surroundings and being able to use those observational skills and techniques to see those things and keep yourself aware, for a better way, no better way of saying it, of what's going on so you can keep all the information you need to keep yourself safe and those around you safe. That's probably one of the most fundamental things besides communication and having that situational awareness where you can, and you'll hear cops and security officers long-term that will go into a restaurant and they'll sit with their back to the wall where they can see the front door.
Yep.
This is something I do, right? And it's part of the situational awareness. I want to be aware of everyone moving around me to make sure I have the best chance of success and I can keep myself and my loved ones that are with me safe. It's the same thing I do at a post. When I go to a post, I keep everyone as best I can in front of me so I have the best chance of seeing what's going on around me, and I have that situational awareness.
I've started doing that more and more, mostly the restaurant thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show up and my wife will walk to a table and she'll instinctively just have me sit at a certain spot because she knows exactly where I'm going to sit. I'm going to be in the corner with my front facing the door. And I know where the back exit is.
Yep.
Things that I didn't consider until I started security.
Yeah. And that's going back to that situational awareness, that basic fundamental of what we do. It's not just it's not I'm doing it to keep myself safe. It's doing it so I know what's going on around me. So if something happens, I know where everybody is. I have the better opportunity to keep people safe. Like I said, if I'm out at a restaurant, I'm with my loved ones, I'm making sure I know who's around us and where they are. So if something goes down, I know where the exit is. I know how to get them out. I know how to keep them safe. It's the same thing when I'm standing at a post. It's the same thing when you're driving a car. This is how basic this is. This goes into driving a vehicle. When you're driving down the street, you're not just paying attention to what's in front of you. You're checking your mirrors. You're looking in your blind spots. You've got situational awareness to all the drivers around you, keeping that core skill there, so you're better prepared to keep yourself from getting into an accident. To take into account for pedestrians walking or not paying attention to what they're doing or whatever the case may be.
Or if you're on the highway and someone starts swerving into you and you swerve into the next lane, you already know that there's no car there.
Yeah.
If you're not paying attention and you swerve, you're just going to hit another car.
Yep. Absolutely. That's that core skill that you can develop on your off time at home when you're doing something on the road and apply that to your job, and it absolutely makes a huge difference in everything that you're doing and everything that goes around you and how you manage that stuff and keep that stuff in front of you so you have a better reaction to it.
Life seems to go a lot more smoothly when you're paying attention to your surroundings and having good situational awareness, whether it's actual physical situational awareness or just your current circumstantial situational awareness.
Absolutely.
That was a mouthful.
That was good though.
I sounded smart.
First time for everything. We have a good comment here. I love this one. Standing in the corner watching the room in high school, you're considered kind of weird.
Oh,
But
yeah.
doing it for a living, it's considered fantastic.
Yep.
100%, 100%. You go, most people, when they hear that I like to have my back to the corner in the restaurants and I like to sit where I can see the exits and I know where that stuff is, they're like, that's weird. And I'm like, not really. Like it keeps...
It's weird now, but it's not going to be weird when you need me.
In 10 years when I'm doing it for a job, you're going to look at me and go like, that's normal.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no, that's one of those fundamental skills like communication. And we keep going back to, if you practice those and you get better at those, it's going to do nothing but make you more successful. It's going to do nothing but keep you learning and keep you growing, because those skills are always changing with the current events or with new technologies. Those skills will always change. It will never be just the same basic stuff. You've got self-driving cars now, so they're still working out the technology and how that works. And so when your situational awareness while you're driving, you've got a Tesla that might be driving on its own automatically. Mm-hmm. You've got that to contend with. Is it going to see you? Does it pay attention? I've seen videos where not always does it
Malfunctions.
work. Yeah.
Wow, whoa, what a concept. Technology malfunctions.
Right. And so everything's going to be advancing. Everything's going to change. You're going to have to learn new ways to adapt to those types of things. And so it's an ever-changing, ever-developing skill. And that's great. That means you're always going to be learning. You're always going to get better at it. You're never going to get stagnant or complacent with it. And I love that about some of those basic fundamental skills.
Yeah, it has certainly had a drastic impact on my life. Being able, from before I was, working security, my situational awareness was minimal. And after working security and after working a grocery store and spending the 8 hours trying to pass the time by going through scenarios in my head going, oh, I'm not ready for that. Oh, I'm really not ready for that. And now I'm at a restaurant going, oh, yeah, I'll just, the exit's right there.
This is how I handle that situation. This is what I do here. It's amazing one of the things with situational awareness, it's amazing once you start with that and you start realizing how much you actually do it, you can't stop. You know, you look at it, you're
It's like
oh,
breathing.
yeah, you look at it, you're like, oh well, I'm driving and I'm taking this into account. Oh well, I'm sitting here and I'm doing this. Once you realize and it clicks how often you actually use situational awareness, you never from there it's not a background application. It's right there at the front of your mind.
If you've ever played sports, you already do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going through a play in your head, or you're playing defense or offense, and you're working out. Oh, okay, you know, he drops the ball. What am I doing? Oh, okay, yeah, we drilled this for hours. Oh, we've got the ball now, and time to go on attack. How am I going to transition? If you have, I mean, I think at any point in anyone's life, you've got a baseline situational awareness. Sports or,
you know, it's funny.
Heck, video games.
I was going to say, funny, when you say sports, video game, anybody who plays video games does the same thing. You've got your headphones in, you're listening for the sounds around you. Games have gotten so good now, and with headphones like the ones we're wearing, there's directional hearing. And so if someone's off to my left, I can hear that noise on the left side. I know somebody's over there. I can hear them on the right side. I can hear a general principle of where they're at. That's situational awareness. We're using it in our everyday life. We're using it in something that we enjoy. When you notice that and you can focus on it, you can get that skill and you can get better at it.
Yep.
And when you look at it and you break it down, that skill in particular is everywhere. I mean, communication, you use that in football. In sports, you use communication for everything. Video games, you use communication for everything. You got to communicate with your team. So it's one of those things, once you notice you use that skill and how often you use it, you start getting better at it. You're going to notice you get better everywhere with it.
As soon as you start doing it manually and not just reactionary, that's how you prepare for the situations where you and your situational awareness is needed.
Yep.
Not so much, doing this to pass the time. You're doing it to prepare yourself.
Absolutely.
And being prepared is necessary for any aspect of life.
Mm-hmm. Like we said, it takes it from being a background application that's just done automatically to something that now you're doing on purpose. Now I'm focused on it.
Yep. Reactive to proactive.
Yep.
You never want to be reactive, always be proactive.
Absolutely. And so that brings us to the communication and stuff like that. A good one to work on as well, and this is one that's a little bit more difficult, but you can also find classes, you can find studies, you can find books on it. Books are probably best way for this one is de-escalation training.
Yep.
You can find, there are not scripts, but manuals and stuff that will walk you through best practice techniques and things like that for de-escalation. Again, that's another one of those skills that you use more often than you think. And once you start looking at it from the outside looking in, you realize how often you actually use de-escalation, conflict resolution, and things like that in your personal lives. Taking that a step further and learning more about it and reading up on those things and getting that will absolutely make your personal life and your professional life that much better. But those are part of those core fundamental skills that you use that you just don't notice. Yep. It's a background application. It's running there automatically. You get into a fight with your friends, you get into a fight with your family member, you're automatically using de-escalation to try and bring everybody back, conflict resolution to make everybody happy again. There's skills that you use every day, maybe not every day, but more often than not without even noticing. Focus on those, pay attention to them, and grow those skills, because those skills will absolutely make you better in everything, especially in our industry.
I completely agree. The de-escalation is a fundamental factor in our business, particularly. Mm-hmm. Without that key level of de-escalation, you're just going to be antagonizing and creating conflict, and you will get yourself into some serious trouble if you can't just do a baseline of de-escalation before you start jumping the gun.
Absolutely. De-escalation is one of the most... We tell everybody that the first tool you have, the first tool you have when it comes to what we do as security officers or law enforcement or anybody in that type of reactionary situation, de-escalation is it's your brain.
Verbal judo.
Your de-escalation techniques, how you think, how you're able to talk to people, those de-escalation techniques where you can help bring somebody back down to reality, bring them back to a logical state where you can talk to them like a person, that is key to keeping yourself successful and keeping there. I tell NEOs all the time, and I tell officers that ask me questions about this, about training and how to get better. One of the biggest things when it comes to de-escalation and when it comes to what we do, I'm not here to make anybody's life more difficult. I'm here as a security officer to make everybody feel at ease, bring safety to what they do for, where they are, whether it's in a public event space, whether it's at a shopping center, whether it's at a store, whether it's at a school, no matter where it is, an apartment complex. It doesn't matter where you are. I'm there to bring a value of safety and security to where you are. And one of the best ways to do that is being able to de-escalate situations and bring somebody back down to a logical, where I can talk to them like a person, where I don't have to yell, I don't have to scream, they're not screaming at me, using those techniques to bring them down to a calm level and say, hey, look, let's talk about this. Let's figure out what the problem is together, and we'll figure out a resolution. You
can solve 99% of your problems out in our workforce, out in the field, with just verbals. Basic commands, talking to someone like they're a human, and working through a problem with them. 99% of your problems will be solved.
Absolutely.
Somebody you're trying to get to leave property is much more compliant if you're talking to them like a human.
Absolutely. I tell everybody, when it comes to de-escalation and when it comes to dealing with people that are, having probably one of the most stressful times of their day, when you're dealing with them, because they're they're angry, there's something going on, and they're taking it out on you, and they're not doing it because you're different. And they're not doing it because you're there. They're doing it because you're there as a security officer. They see the uniform, they see opposition, and you're the first person that they're going to react to. And that's going to happen. Being able to de-escalate that and bring them back down to a reasonable level is absolutely fundamental to it. Real quick, I want to point out OTW, thank you for your comment. He says, sorry, it's a little small from where I'm sitting. Hey all, have a channel dedicated to security. With 17 years of armed security under my belt, I can vouch that they speak nothing but facts. I'm not saying we're an experts or anything, but we've got a lot of time in this, not to toot our own horns or anything, but we want to bring this stuff. We want to give you guys these facts and make sure that you guys have that stuff to learn. So thank you for your comment. It means a lot. It actually does to me. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this podcast the entire time we've had it. So seeing that absolutely made my day. Thank you.
Another half to the de-escalation is being able to keep a level head. When you're out in the field, I think my favorite one is I got called Paul Blart and Mall Cop. Being able, cool. Being insulted is unfortunately irregular for our industry. And being able to keep a level head, being able to let those comments, those people being difficult roll off your back, that makes a world of difference in a verbal conflict with somebody. You keeping a level head will, because it's hard to stay angry at somebody who's completely calm. If you start getting heated, you're gonna match each other, and it's gonna keep going up. If you stay down here and they're up here, and you continue down here, and they're trying to escalate it, they're gonna bring it down, because no one can stay angry at someone completely calm.
One of two things is going to happen. They're either going to come back down to your level, or they're going to walk away.
They're going to storm off.
They're going to be like, you know what? I'm done with you. And they're going to leave. Great. Fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm sorry you're going through some stuff. Please stay safe. That's it. And guess what? Solved. De-escalated. Problem's gone. It's no longer an issue. Right? So, again, staying that maintained level, I've been called some funny names. I've been called some horrendous names. It is what it is. I don't take it personal, because guess what? They're probably not having a really good day, and if it makes them feel a little bit better, call me a flashlight cop. Call me a rent-a-cop. Paul Blart. Fantastic. Thank you.
I'll never see that person again.
Yeah. I appreciate your comment. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm sorry that you're having a bad day. How can I help make it better? You can't. Okay. I understand that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I wish I could do more. I wish I could fix this for you, but obviously you don't want me to. I, however, still need you to be able to do this for me. If I can help, I'll help. Let me help, But those techniques and those skills are so important and so fundamental to what we do. I'm struggling with that word today.
Last week it was coughing. This week it's fundamental.
It's so basic for us, and it's such essential for us to be able to have those communication skills and that de-escalation and those observation skills, that it's we need to be able to focus on that and take it, I'm going to say it again, from a background application that runs just like on your phone to a front forward thing that I focus on. Proactive versus reactive.
Yep.
And there's nothing more to it. The focus on those skills, find where you use them, and start making them better, because those will absolutely make your life easier. Some other things to remember with the modern society that we live in. Technology is always advancing. We kind of brushed on this earlier a little bit. Technology is always getting better. There's AI now. There's other things that are going to advance. Staying on top of that, knowing where in our industry where those things advance to, and being able to adjust and accommodate for it is fantastic, because it is going to add new training to you. It's going to add new sets of skills. It's going to, again, make you better in your personal life, make you better in your professional.
Puts you several steps ahead of your peers.
Yeah.
Certainly if you're looking to be a supervisor, staying on top of your game with that, and staying on top of your game with how to integrate that into your job and your personal life, that is how you stay several steps ahead. That is how you get the position.
Absolutely. 100%. So when you're looking at those things, when you're looking at security advancements and technology, keep in mind what it means for us in security, what it means for law enforcement. How do these things play an effect on us? What does it change? Does it change anything at all? Is it going to add to us? Is it going to take away from us? I know that a long time ago when body cameras first came out, law enforcement had this huge study on how it helps, what does it hinder, and throughout the time, everybody agreed to the same thing. Hey, this provides more service than it does anything else. And throughout the time, that's exactly what they've done. They've provided more service, more safety for the officers and the people that are involved. New technology came out. They took it into consideration. They looked at the positives and the negatives, and like, the positives vastly outweigh any negatives here. Implementation. Any new technology that's going to come out that's going to change the industry, it's the same thing. Cameras, when it came to security, were the same thing. Before, it used to just be physical security. There were no cameras. Cameras came out. How do we use these? This is how we use it. New technology, assimilated into the culture, and there it is.
Something that seems niche this week could be absolute bread and butter in a year, 2 years from now.
Naily, to answer your question, no, we do not have body cams now.
No.
I'm using that as a general principle because it was new technology when it came out, but we do not have body cams. So keep a close eye on that technology that comes out and how it might change things for us and how it might change things for you. Keep up on that stuff, and again, that's more learning, because now you're reading up on new technologies, and it's advancing you with wisdom and knowledge. And again, you can never go wrong with having that information. It's always good to have. So keep up on that stuff. Keep working at it, keep training, keep reading, keep learning, because that's what it's all about. It's about growing and being better. And I keep saying that and saying that.
One day it'll stick.
Yeah, hopefully. For me too.
Yeah.
I have my own moments. But when it comes to that, I'm going to keep saying the same stuff.
Yep.
At this point. I can't say it enough. Never stop learning. Never stop growing. Better yourself, because it's going to better you professionally and personally. And everything we do, everything we want is growth. Whether it be an officer to a better post, officer to supervisor to a different department, whatever it is, home life. You never want to stay stagnant. You never want to get complacent. You always want to be growing. You always want to be learning. And you can never stop. There's never enough information out there, and there's never enough growth.
At the end of every day, sit down, have a little time to yourself, find something you could have done better that day. At the end of every shift, sit down and find something you could have done better. Constantly progress yourself.
Absolutely. So on that note, we're going to hit weather, and then we will let you guys get back to enjoying your day and your weekends. So what we're looking at now, today it's been 81. It's been actually a pretty pleasant day. We're looking at glorious. Saturday is 91 and sunny. Sunday is 79. Look at that, 91 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday.
Phenomenal weather.
Phenomenal. Monday 75, Tuesday 78, sunny all week next week. Thursday 85, Friday 87, and Saturday 85. It's going to be sunny almost completely all week next week.
I'm taking my daughter to the park. That sounds great.
Sounds like a fantastic weekend. Phenomenal weekend.
Phenomenal.
So for those of you that need to cut your grass, I think this is the last time before you really have to worry about it. So get it in on Sunday because it's going to be a nice, cool day for it. But other than that, guys, I'm going to let you get back to enjoying your weekend. Again, thank you guys for everything. We appreciate it all. Without you guys watching, without you guys in the field, we wouldn't be able to do stuff like this. And he wouldn't be able to continue to laugh at me when I'm trying to hold a cough back for you guys. So thank you so much. We appreciate it, guys. Remember, hydration is key. Hydration is the day before, not the day of. Thanks, guys. Stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one.